Don't do drugs. Stay drug-free. Too cool for drugs. These were all things we grew up hearing and saying as kids. Schools devoted an entire week in October to remind kids that drugs are really bad and a dangerous substance. Posters were made, signs were put up, water bottles and bracelets were passed out to all, just to remind people that drugs can be very dangerous. Why then is the legalization of drugs an apparent issue? If we fight so hard to rule drugs out of every young person's life, why do we fight just as hard to make drugs available to every person? Seems contradictory, does it not? I believe that drugs should not be legalized in any states. There are many reasons for not legalizing drugs, but I'm going to focus on three main points. The first being, marijuana is an extremely addictive substance. Marijuana is very harmful to a person's mental health. And finally, marijuana is extremely damaging to your physical health. Marijuana is extremely addictive substance. If a person is addicted to alcohol, cocaine, and marijuana, they're going to have the hardest time giving up marijuana above the other two. Dr. Spinsky, a once very well-known and experienced doctor, wrote, "The difficult thing about marijuana addiction is some people can do fine with it for years before they start to have difficulties. But eventually the high wears off and people start smoking more, a lot more, to get it back. And that's when they descend to difficulties." People who have had marijuana have known true addiction. The number of people who are addicted to marijuana rises higher and higher every year. Studies show that people are getting it early on in their lives. As young as 12 years old, they start. In a study, 7.3 million people were looked at. Over 4.3 million had marijuana addictions or abuse. This substance abuse will only become worse if it becomes available to everyone, if it's legal for them to have. Marijuana is also harmful to mental health. The Northwestern University conducted a study once, and they came to the realization that marijuana causes abnormalities in the brain structure. People who smoke deform their own brains. They stop getting mental growth. And a lot of the apparent causes of the brain has similarities to schizophrenia. The younger the people get it, the worse it is to their brain. It hinders it early on in their youth, and they can't grow past much what they had before it. Also, people who have marijuana suffer from the loss of memory. When people have marijuana, they lose their short-term and long-term memory. Plus, it drops IQ points, possibly because the people just can't remember what they used to know. They actually tend to go dumber in size. Also, people who suffered from a dropped IQ also suffered from increased anxiety, mood, and psychotic disorders. Marijuana is a physical health problem. People who smoke marijuana have lung problems 20 years earlier than people who smoke cigarettes. Small amounts, even little bits of it, can cause lots of problems and temporary sterility too. If a pregnant mother smokes marijuana, a lot of problems will come to the baby, including birth defects, mental abnormalities, and a higher risk of leukemia. Physical defects in lungs and other organs will occur if you smoke marijuana. Marijuana will change your body to where it will have problems functioning without marijuana, and it will become a problem in your physical health later on in your life. These are just some reasons why we shouldn't legalize marijuana. I hope you can agree with me that it is so dangerous and it's a really harmful drug which will result in a lot of pain and loss. Bad enough we lose so many Americans and people in general to alcohol and cigarettes. We should not endorse another dangerous drug to the public. It's not going to get any better. Representative William Rem once said, "Perception of risk problem, because we lower penalties, we imply that it's a safe drug." It's not a safe drug. And if we legalize it, people will get the impression that it's because it's okay. But it's not okay. That drug will do a lot of harm to many people. Christy Cantu once put it like this: "We are following the law and a medically based program, but I am not going to allow the legalization of marijuana in this state by statute. It's not going to happen on my watch." Hopefully, we can all take her side just as strongly as she is. That way we can keep this dangerous drug from damaging our already damaged world.